All right. um. So today I'm gonna do a little streaming, and I'm gonna do I'm gonna make a Boids simulation. Now, if you don't know what a Boid is, uh, what are you even doing? No, I'm kidding. So let's see here. Someone did. There's a very good paper on it. I think it's like in a notes file. It's always the stuff you can't find whenever you're on the spot. Um, Boyd's, it's like a way to simulate kind of like flocking behavior, if you will. So, like groups of birds that flock together and whatnot. And let's see here. I'm gonna give it a go in Bevy. Now, Bevy is a game engine built with Rust, and I really like it. It's ECS based, like the whole thing from the ground up. I know Unity has like a sort of ECS system, and it's that thing where like from what I've heard from people, it can be a bit difficult to work with, but also it's not really like I don't know if things have changed, but it's like Unity wasn't really made around ECS. It wasn't architecturally designed for it. Bevy was from the ground up. So, for instance, like a lot of game engines, you'll have some kind of like node network. You'll have a hierarchy, a tree, if you will, and each node might have its own functionality and scripts running and such. But like a lot of architecture for game development tends to be just like managing this tree, and then it's like where do you put certain functionality. There's all kinds of ways you can, of course, solve a problem or do something. But with Bevy, it's different. You do, of course, still have that like a hierarchy, but you do not call things like from parent objects and whatnot. You run queries, and so it really is that entity component system thing. And I'll show. Let's see here. Actually, no, we'll just do the screen. It's fine. Okay, so there's a few things that really we're gonna work on, and this is something you can kind of go over on your own. And I feel like a lot of people have made stuff like this, really. But there's these like three main properties of separation, which is I don't you can't really read that, can you? Okay. Separation, which is avoiding certain objects, or I should say flock mates, I guess. Alignment is steering towards that average local heading, or the average heading. And then cohesion is steering to move towards the actual average position. So cohesion kind of like keeps them in groups. Alignment, of course, keeps them moving more or less in the same direction. And separation is, well, spacing them apart. I also want to, of course, tweak this. That like, there's a few things I want to tweak. So for starters, it's like, you of course every Boyd has like an angle, which I think is important given what this angle is, as well as the distance of this. You know, I guess you'd call this an arc technically, or a slice. It's a big slice, but it's not quite a circle, of course, because there's a little bit missing. And of course, I think that's probably very critical, because the fact that it's not really scanning for anything behind it means that it's always going to be moving forward, or at least usually in this direction. And I'm sure if you tweak these values, you're going to get different results, which is really what I'd like to do. I'd like to have something to where we don't just have this simulated, but we can tweak certain values. Like you can tweak the separation, but you can also adjust, like not just like there's like the radius of separation, if you will, and then there is what is it? Like the magnitude, like how quickly they turn. And I also thought, like, is this something where it should be more? like linear controlled. Like if you are within a separation bound, like are you going to be moving slower here as opposed to closer within? And what does that look like, There's also of course and it's like again with alignment, like how big, how many Boids are we checking around us, as well as how quickly do we turn? And all of these, of course, have to do with steering, right? Like they're trying to scan something, and then they're going to try to steer the Boid based on that scanning behavior. So what we need to do is have all these, and I'm wondering if it's like I feel like I should have these all store separate values, like they're all going to go through these groups and check these separate properties. And as they check those properties, what my hope is that we're probably just going to say like, you have like your current, I don't know, like angle you're going to be making some change, and then after these all are running concurrently, we'll have like a separate function running in a different step after this. That's just like, okay, take all of these inputs and then set the angle that this is going to turn. So yeah, I feel like it might be better. So let's see here. Let's open up Microsoft Paint, the masterful drafting documentation software. Yeah, so obviously like you have let's say we're calculating separation. We have anxiety. No. All right, so here's let me think. How do you calculate separation, actually? That's a good question. I'm guessing what you're going to have to do is get like a collection of velocities and yeah. Or not velocities. You probably have to get the vectors and then maybe combine them and then get the opposite of that. And that'll tell you your separation. As far as alignment goes, I think that's just get the average. Probably, yeah. It's the average. Cohesion, of course. How do you get the average position? Let's just collect all the positions that it scans other than itself. And yeah. And cohesion will probably increase with distance. Alignment will also increase depending on how far off of alignment you are. And separation, of course, is like... This one's kind of weird. Because if they're all three next to you, let's say there's three of them next to you. Or let's just say there's one next to you, but really close. Technically, that vector is going to be very small. But we want it to move further away, probably with greater magnitude if it's closer together. As opposed to if it's like way over here, that's like a larger vector, like if you will, like here's some separation, yeah? You've got two other Boids. You've got one here, and let's say you have a different scenario where one's here. In fact, forget scenarios. Let's say a Boid is way out here. That vector between the two of you is going to be pretty big. Which means the magnitude of like the inverse is also going to be pretty massive. But it seems to me you need this kind of grouping behavior. So you don't want them to be so strongly against each other. And also, of course, let's say the other Boid, your neighbor, is like this close. Well, in that case, the vector's, very small, or the magnitude is very small. And so your magnitude is going to be less. And we want the opposite of that. We want... Oh, we want this to be large. And when you are next to another Boid, or when you're further away, I should say, if you're further from that Boid, then the inverse, what we want is something much smaller. And that way it kind of finds stability. Yeah. Again, we don't want to, it's weird if it's like they get closer together and then they'd be, you know, hanging on very close. If they're further away, they'd be pushing away. That's like maybe interesting, but I don't think that would give us the flocking behavior. So instead, we got to find some kind of inverse of separation, and I think that's going to be really important. Um, so let's write down some notes. First things first. Yeah, let's get a README file here. Oops. Bevy Boids. And I think people have done this kind of stuff already, but again, you know, this is the triangle. We're trying to learn new things. So a Boyd simulator. Let's write down separation. I keep thinking anxiety. Separation, alignment, and cohesion. So let's see here. Maybe user? No, not user stories. Let's just say notes. These will be our dev notes. Separation, alignment, and anxiety. No, cohesion? Cohesion. Yeah. So let's see here. Separation. I'll say we need the inverse magnitude. For alignment, just the average. We'll say magnitude is direct, you know, as opposed to being inverse. Cohesion again. Let's say average, average heading, average position. Magnitude is direct. If we are further away from it, we need to have that greater magnitude. If we are closer to it, a lesser magnitude. I think it's upset because it wants this. Yes, you do. Okay, so we've got a few notes. These don't need to be checkboxes, really. So we have that. More than that, there we go. Inverse magnitude. What is separation again? What is this? This is going to be a combined position of local mates, I'll say. Mates will be your, you know, flock mates. We'll say flock mates. Say like each property has a range, has some constant values, and those are range, what else do we have? We have want to say something along the lines of like a global, what, not a global, I'm sorry. They have like a multiplier, if you will, so we can adjust. Let's say their separation is very powerful. It's not quite flocking. Okay, then we can tone down the separation without having to like mess with the internals. We can just tweak a value. So a range and a multiplier, like a power multiplier. Yeah. Yeah. So they're each going to have that. I'm trying to think about what else they might need. Each void has a let's see. Oh, it's not just the range. It should be. Let's see. Detection distance and detection angle from forward, from the local forward. And then effect multiplier. Let's see here. Yeah. Because we see this, right? But we don't want them to have the same distance and angle for all of these properties. I mean, we could. I wonder. Why is that only a flock means a certain... Neighborhoods characterized by distance. Model limited perception. Obstacle avoidance and goal seeking. Okay. I don't think we're going to get to that today. Maybe we should just keep it to where each Boid has a detection. Let's say component. Yeah, okay. And that's distance and angle. Has shared values, effect multiplier. Yeah. Also wonder if I should do some kind of like, I don't know, exponential shit, like it increases, or how does it, I think it's like how that value changes depending on, it could be linear, right? Like very direct, or it could be exponential, or it could like plateau and drop off. I think dropping off and plateauing seems more stable. Seems a lot smoother in my opinion. And I believe one achieves this with let's see here. All right. Let's see here. 1 divided by 1 plus oh crap. Gee whiz, what is it again? Like 1 divided by x? It's very weird. Oh yeah, okay, it's like, is that it? Except it's not just 1 divided by x. I think it is 1 to the power of, well, let's say like 0.8. No. 8? No. Power of 8? That's going to be a lot. That is a lot. Yeah. Looks like 0.8 is where it's going to end up. Yeah, it looks kind of weird. It looks like this. But, there it is. We start out at 0. Do we start out at 0? Huh. X0 to 5.7. I'm thinking something a little smooth like this. And guessing if it's 0.6. Huh. If it's 1.6, does it? Oh. Weird. It kind of levels out. That is really interesting. Huh. That's really... Wait, what? Ha ha ha. Oh, okay. I was going to turn on my camera. I was going to do a more camera stream. What? Ah! Hello. Why is there always a mess in the background when you don't expect it? Whatever. I can't be bothered. I can go anywhere I want. Oh, that's weird. Okay. Just put over that advertisement. Yeah. I'm kind of wondering if it needs to have a little bit of leveling off. But I'm worried that that's like... This like exponential factor right here, if we do it this way, is I think very important. It's, this is just going to determine the shape of that curvature that we follow. Okay. Excuse me. I think, yeah. I think, this 0.2, is it going to be like a easier? Yeah. Okay. This might be a really good approach to, all right. I think 0.6 leveled out really well at 1, didn't it? No? What was it? 2.6? Yeah. Oh, fiddlesticks. I don't know. But that might play a very important part. Okay. So what we're going to have to do, though, to start everything is we need an app component. I always forget like what things need to be put in. Setup. Yeah, there we go. App new run. Whoop-de-doo. And then there's some general stuff you can follow. What I'm going to do, however, is make this file. And I need the plugin system looking thing. All right, come on. Plugins. Here we go. Right. Yeah. So it looks kind of messy, I know, but it'll all It'll be very clear in a moment. Oh, I didn't do any promotional work. I should do that. I should promote the channel. I forgot how to do that. Oh man. All right. We're gonna go on some other people's Discord servers. I hate doing this. It just feels so grifty. I don't know. I have an issue sometimes. It feels like I'm asking for help in a weird way. Because it kind of is. I mean, not really. People don't have to, but like, you know, my mind says it is, and it's like, you know, you should feel guilty for that. So, yeah. Let me think here. Oh, I'm gonna do something in the Bevy Discord, and I don't think they have networking. No, I don't know if I could put it in general. Let's see here. Maybe showcase. Oh, streams. Oh shoot. Okay. Oh, there we go. Oh. Making a Boid simulator in Bevy. Copy, paste. Already have a notification? Oh. Oh. Oh, it's a thread. Did I mean to do that? Oh, the app, I think, does that automatically. I was like, okay. I don't need a thread. All right. Whatever, just posting it here and there. Oh, yeah, Big Mode's Game Jam thing's going on. Hey, if you took part in any kind of game jam, that's always, I think, a good idea. Frankly, I'm like, I don't even think it matters if you finish. I think what really matters is like practice. And sometimes it's just like you see a game jam, you read a theme, and you're like, ooh, I've got an idea. Go with it. Go with it. Think of a bunch of things and then cut out like 95% of it because you're not going to be able to get it all in. Unless you're like very confident and experienced you are. But I think in my experience, doing game jams has helped go from like following basic tutorials on YouTube of like how to make a game to, you know, it's like, here's something that is expected to be small. It has to be if you want to finish, right? And you've got some defined parameters and rules already. So you don't have to really come up with any of that. You just have to practice trying to make it. And it's hard, but like you do it a few times and then suddenly you're like, I feel confident making a game of this size. I think it's really great. I don't think the Big Mode server has promo stuff. And I'm not going to put anything on there, you know, unless I feel like, I don't know. If they're okay with it, that's fine. But, I don't know. I don't want to, like, overstep my bounds in any kind of way. Oh, Ace Rolla. Whatever. All right. That's enough self-promo. Oh, now we're opening Spotify. I didn't want to do that. All right. Let's think here. Oh, yes. So let's see. We have to create a new app. Run comes at the very end, but something you'll probably want to do is add plugins, default plugins, just some standard stuff. And for main, all main is going to do is no, I'm sorry. got a little confused. I was like, what am I doing here? Main is going to run the library. So this is not a hello plugin. We could call it that, but we should probably just call it. I think a lot of people call it app plugin, which I think makes sense. Although we probably good to call this app, but this is app. You know, there's no real winning. Ooh. Hold on a minute. Why are you mad? You must save, and you... I do like how the spacing is like... okay. Well, I might explain why there's no consistency in these settings. Oh. Use Bevy prelude. It's probably necessary. Do I not need this? Okay, I do need this. I was getting a warning. Yeah. Isn't the root of creates library target to refer to it? Yeah, I think actually if I do this, huh? Okay. This. Maybe I can cut out the middleman here. Okay. We won't make it too hard on ourselves here. All right. So, yeah, here's our standard app. We should be able to run it. In fact, it'd probably be a good idea just to run it. And it's going to take 30 years to compile. It's not that long, but there's a lot of stuff it has to go through. Once it is done, though, we're just going to have a window, and there's just going to be nothing to do. But, of course, we're just trying to test if we can have a window. So, you know, while we're waiting on that, we have to wait. Why don't we, let's see, Boids or Boyd? Boyd. I had a professor with a last name of Boyd. Dr. Boyd. It's, sorry, I'm just like remembering stuff from college. He's very good. He's a very good professor. It's funny, when I was younger, I felt like that weird thing of like, he's somebody who definitely just kind of goes to his own vibe, you know? And there's a part of you that thinks like, oh, this person doesn't, you know, they seem to stand out in a way. Frankly, the older I get, though, I think I understand it more. I'm like, yeah, you know, you just got to be yourself. And I don't know. It's not as important to fit in as it is to feel like you belong internally, inside yourself. All right. Still waiting. It's fine. So let's make a struct, and let's call it a Boyd. And we're going to implement, actually, Boyd plugin. And I can just do that. And I can say implement plugin. And there we go. And then we're going to add some stuff. So Bevy has components, and those are extremely handy when you want to get certain properties. So, like we were looking at the README file, each void's going to have some distance and some angle. I should save this website here. Let's see here. Reference. By Craig Ray Reynolds. I believe that's how you spell their name. I'm playing some like electronic. I'm playing some D&B music. I don't know if you can hear it, and I hope not. I post these on YouTube. I don't want them to get any kind of copyright issues. So, Boyd, simple enough. We have. Oh, this is important. When you're defining properties, which you can do like this. If it's going to have one property, you can also do this where you just have like a type. But more than likely, you might have multiple properties. In which case we have here. So we're going to have a property. We're going to call it distance. An angle, which will be in radians. But very importantly, these need to be public. Because if they're not, they won't be accessible externally outside the struct. I believe they won't be accessible outside the struct. I'm pretty confident they won't be accessible outside the struct. We should look up Rust struct pub. Let's see, private field. Technically, it's inherently private unless you specify. Visibility defaults to private, can be overridden with pub modifier. Visibility only matters when a struct is accessible from outside the module where it is defined. Yes, okay. So, since we want to actually access these values, we need to set them to public. Can't tell you how many times I've been, we don't know what this value is, and I'm like, what is it? It's there. I've written it. Yeah, well, it does know. It's just, or sometimes you read a debug message and you're like, oh, the value's not there. It doesn't know what I'm doing. It does know. You're just not allowed to touch it because it's private by default. Let's see here. I think the first thing I should do is probably just make a bunch of Boids. Yeah. Eh. Let's see. We're gonna derive another component. We're gonna set debug and default to these as well. We're gonna give them these attributes. And we're gonna have, sorry, this is a function. We're not gonna do that one yet. Pub struct strust. What's it called? Yeah. So I need to create a trait. And that trait, you can store values in a trait, can't you? Let's see. Traits. All right. Summary. Yeah, you define a trait here. Like, can you? I want to kind of give it a value. I feel like I want to have traits. Default implementations. Because each of these effectiveness like values for the main like Boyd behavioral properties. Um, in fact, we're going to call it that. We're going to call it a Boyd behavior. I wonder if I should just. Eh. You know, maybe what I need to do is have oops. What do I call it again? Effective multiplier. I'm gonna call it effectiveness, which will be a multiplier. Oh no, you're mad. Comp net. Wait, component. My brain hurts right now reading that. I'm like, okay. Just call it effectiveness, yeah. Ooh, effectiveness. Effectiveness. And this will just give a value too. Give it a float. There we go. Now we're going to have a straight. We're going to have a trait, and we're going to call it. I want to call the trait effectiveness. What would I call it though? Maybe there's a better way for it. You see, a summary trait runs the summarize function, and I want to have. Maybe, you know what I'm just going to try to do? I'm just going to try to store that value internally. In fact, why don't I just look that up? I was kind of starting, but my ADHD took control. Traits with values. This is more like generics than it is value storage. Store variables in a trait, yeah. Save your join handle. Okay. Yeah. All right. We'll do it the Rust way. We're not gonna try to go crazy on this. I feel like effectiveness. Strength? No, you know what? Affectable. I hate that. I'm scared of that word. I don't like it. Oh. I don't like the word. It feels weird. Feels like I'm doing C# stuff. It's fine. Let me think here. Set effectiveness. Yeah. Set effectiveness. And how do you do it? Yeah. At self. And for this, we want to return self. We don't have to. If we're just setting an internal value, we might be able to get away with just doing this. So let's see. Self dot. Huh. Hold on. What did that other person say? And oops. You. Implement service for some object. Okay. So they have a trait service. That's why traits feel a little weird at times. Maybe we're doing this wrong. Maybe what we need is to pass a value of F32 into it. And I have a different idea. Roll with me here. You don't have a choice. Oh, yeah, we're just defining it. We don't have to create a function. What am I doing? I was like, how can it be done? All right, so set effectiveness will send a value. We don't need to return anything. Might be good later to return a result. I don't think I like this. Tell you, we're just gonna have effectiveness, and we're gonna return this. And wow, this thing's still mad. It's mad because there's nothing going on. All right. Whoops. Derive some behaviors. So component, default, and debug. Pub struct. I feel like there's a lot of things that are going to be upset because our app just doesn't do anything. Yeah, there we go. Let's see. Boid behavior. No, let's just call it what it is. Yeah. So there's separation, alignment, and cohesion. Excuse me. Cohesion. Separation. I don't know. Don't ask me. Separation is what's important for that? You know, now that I think about it, are we storing this? We are storing storing an angle. That's for certain. This is calculated. This is calculated. Yeah. Yes. Void behavior. Maybe instead of effectiveness, we call it we just say calculate. That's really what we're doing. Calculate angle. That'll be internal. We can still return it, but we need to store it as well. And then every one of these components. Yeah, they'll have an angle. So call that delta angle. I think I want to call it that. Because this is like going to change every single time. Or rather when it's updated. In fact, maybe update angle would be better. So, why are you upset? In a file? No, you're fine. Oh, lol. Separation, anxiety. No, what the heck is it? Like, here, there. You're over there now. I don't need to remember anything. I just need to look it up. Is that how you spell cohesion? Cohesion. Cool. There we go. They all have the same thing. It's complaining because it's like these values aren't read. We will get to that. But the important thing... You know what, actually? It's weird that I know their effectiveness, right? And we can tweak that live. Yeah, rather than give that like a property. So we'll have all those values we can adjust. Now's the important part. We're going to implement Boid behavior for separation. And the way we do that for each of these, well, let's start with separation. So we're going to update the angle. Well, each of these needs is the flock, because they're all dependent on, yeah, local flock mates. Instead of passing value, we're going to pass a vector of Boids. No. We need to pass. Hmm. Travel, movement. You know, let's not go crazy here. All right, we're gonna define a new file of like a different types of behaviors and stuff, and we're gonna have something in here, and we're gonna call it a traveler. Traveler, traveler. And the traveler is going to have like their current location and heading. In fact, yeah. Okay. Location, which will be a vector 2, and heading, which is also a vector 2. And one of these is going to be normalized. Guess which one? It's heading. Sorry, you can't guess anymore. You failed. Okay, so let's see here. Travel. There's no hope. Gee whiz. Travelers. But you need to be mutable. I might get my syntax completely wrong. You don't need to be mutable. Borrowed, perhaps. Yes. But not mutable. We don't need a mutable. Mutatable. We don't need to mutate these. What is mutation? It's changing the value of something. It's being able to mutate it, which is very important in Rust, because if you don't specify that, it will assume it to be constant or non-mutatable. I should say immutable rather than constant. Okay. So each of these is going to do the same exact thing. Alignment. We're going to do the Boid behavior trait. It's not going to do the exact same, but like we're going to implement this trait for all of them, and they're each going to run about these calculations differently. U separation. So I wonder, maybe I just need a vector. No, I should pass traveler because I could pass an enum. No, I think I want to pass. These are going to be flock mates. Um, but we probably just passed to vector 3. I think separation might be the hardest one to do, actually. So let's start with alignment. Average heading. Okay. We're going to assume the flock mate, that value that we call, is actually, let's see, let mutable. Is there a way to get average out of a vector? There's some. This is just the standard. Okay. Let's see. Average heading will be a vector 2. I put vector 3 for all these. I did not mean to do that. Vector 2. And for mate and flock mates, getter. Actually, no. I can, I think here. Let's see. We have a flock size, which is just, is it size? Might not be size. Is it length? It's gonna be one of those. Length, size. I think it's len. Len. Yeah, U size. Oh, okay. Well, even better. There we go. So we have our flock size, and then our heading sum. Didn't you do that just now? Oh, iter sum, list iter. It's a list. Let's go Reddit. Yeah. Maybe I should just do an array. Maybe I can do it. Numbers iter sum. Let's see. Flock mates iter sum. I don't like how it's okay. Here, return a number at the end of it. I don't just stop bothering me about it. Oh. All right. Heading sum. Right. No. No, this would be a vector 2. Cool. Does that really work? And then the average should be, I'm going to mutate it. shall be the sum over the size. This feels wrong. This feels weird. Two vectors are pointed like 1 unit on the y-axis. Let's say there's 2 of them overlapping. Then their sum would be like 2 on the y-axis. And then divided by their size should give you the average. You know, yeah. Yeah. I suppose I really didn't need to calculate that like that, but that's fine if I do. Work through slowly here. Oh. Can I maybe change it? Whoa. Let's see. You're okay with that. Okay. So we have our average heading now, and we need to know the angle from our current heading to our average heading, which means we're going to have to pass that in. Maybe instead of delta angle, we just say angle. Heading angle. So many ways to do this. All right, so our current heading angle. It is self dot heading angle. And we're going to say, we're going to move towards the average heading by some amount of effectiveness. Wait. Here's a good question. What is this angle? Because it should be absolute if we store an angle. And if it is, we need the angle of this vector. There should be a way to get that. From angle to angle. There it is. Okay. Average heading to angle. We'll multiply it by the effectiveness, but I think more importantly, doesn't that return? Why are you mad? What? Oh, okay. Cannot self-assign. Oh, right. That's a good point. Well, yeah, add that. Is that how you do that? Okay, it's fine with self-assignment. So we have an average heading. Let's say it's straight up, and we're moving to the right. You're right. Then we're going to be adding this angle to this angle, but only by some effectiveness. And I believe we should also consider delta time. Also going to have weird frame stuff going on. So, before the flock mates, let's say delta time. F32. Okay. Cool. I love hotkeys. Okay. That times delta time. Okay. That should be good. At least for alignment. I hope so. Okay. And now let's work on cohesion. Cohesion is move toward the average position. Okay. So in this case, what we're passing into flock mates will not be their heading, which will be a unit vector, but rather okay. Let's see here. Let's say flock mates are heading. Should be unit vectors. Separation, that'll be different. Our location. Okay. So, what's the average? Same as it ever was, I suppose. Starting to feel like these things are except instead of heading, it will be location. And not headings, but location. And self, let's see, the heading angle is going to be angle to that from here. No. No. To angle. It's going to be like the range negative pi to pi. The input does not need to be a unit vector, however, it must be non-zero. Yeah. It'll have to be like a local angle, really. Maybe it should be delta angle instead of just heading angle. I know. I'm trying to, Yeah. In fact, um, we don't need to return anything, do we? Okay. Nothing to return, actually. Nothing at all. So delta angle, effectiveness, and then delta time. There we go. And you're going to be the absolute. And every frame, every time it updates, it will calculate that delta angle and then plug all the delta angles together to see where we go. Sure. I don't know. I mean, maybe it'll break. It's just there's one way to find out. All right. Now, separation. Avoid crowding local flockmates. This feels like it also has to get a collective. Separation and cohesion seem to be antithetical. They seem to be, quite frankly, the opposite of each other. I mean, like direct opposite. In which case, why are we calculating both? I guess you would need them to be different, but like cohesion, it's like you have an average position, right, that you want to steer towards. Separation's like you technically have an average position you want to run away from, run away from. And if it's just one of them, again, you're moving away from them. If they're two, they have some average position, and you're just moving away from that. All right. Well, let's just see how doing the average position is fine. Now, this is tricky because separation, remember, if we have some. Hello. If the magnitude of that average, the smaller that magnitude, the greater we actually want to move away, and vice versa. So our, let's say, relative location. Relative? Oh. Oh, this feels messy. This feels like we're going to encounter some like global to local problems. Yeah. Okay. I think we'll just have to do effectiveness divided by. Wait a minute. This is cohesion. I want separation. Average location. Length. Yes. Yeah. So when that length is greater, the value on bottom will be greater. If the effectiveness, let's say it's 10, and that length of average location is 10, it'll be 1. And if the length is 100, then the effectiveness should be 1/10. If the length is 1, the effectiveness is 10 and much greater. Okay, so we have some inverse stuff going on. It's all, I thought it's like, this is never used. Feels like it's used a lot right here. Trait. This feels like, I don't know. Lints. It's not just the function, though. It's like, yeah, the trait. I have no... Who wants to read? I don't want to learn. I want to make fun things. No. Whoa. Yeah, I'm like, okay. I mean, maybe they're saying it's never called on. Because, we calculate it here. Feels like we're doing the same thing. Well, again, it feels very cookie cutter, but we're probably gonna have I don't know. I don't know if we need a Boid plugin for now. Like, we have our traits, we have our behaviors. I feel like, if anything, I just want to do this on movement. I'm going to call this something like a creature, flockmate, traveler. Traveler. Okay. The traveler is that thing we're going to make. And I have a triangle, don't we? All right. A lot of warnings, but fear not. Or fear, if you want. I'm not your boss. Do whatever you want. Traveler. The travelers. I'm going to say spawn. Flock. Maybe I should call it flock. Doing all kinds of things today. I mean, yeah, of course we're... it's typically how it goes, isn't it? Oh, where are you? see. Before we do this, we don't need that. Add plugins. Flock plugin. What? Yeah, okay. It's still probably mad. It doesn't know what a flock is. But that's fine. We'll show it. Boyd. We don't need that. Cool. Why are you mad? There's no... Yeah, there is. Oh, it's like, I don't know what the heck this thing does. Good point. So, we'll spawn a flock. And, so when we start to get into, steps. Oh. It's not... like architecture. No. Oh. Hold on a minute. I know other projects have it. Oh. Animancer does. All right, I gotta look through this one real quick. Yes. All right. Is it in library? State. No. Main. A lot of plugins. Oh, gee whiz! I can't even where? What's it called? It's like app set. Update. Resources. Schedule. Here. I don't want to rewrite this. Schedule. There we go. We don't need that right now. All right, we're going to chain all these commands. Yeah, we'll have input eventually. All right, we're going to do... Input. And after that, we'll have, let's see, calculate update behavior. Update behaviors, then update movement. Yeah, okay. Update behaviors and update movement. Okay. Within our library, it just told us we don't need plugins, but I can assure you we need many. Whoa. There you go. Okay. Now we have an actual schedule to access. And on our flock, we're gonna spawn our flock. Update behavior. And then actually update separation. We'll update the movement elsewhere. Yeah. Ooh. No. Some great cool music. Coolmusic.com. All right. Movement plugin won't have that, but it will have one called oh, hi. What are you working on? I'm working on a Boids simulator in Bevy, which is a Rust-based game engine. There we go. Good to have you, Nisir. I'm not certain if I'm pronouncing that. I hope I'm not butchering it. Let's see. And it's in set. Let's see. What's the schedule again? Update movement. I feel like I'm spelling all that correctly. It's not connecting anything, though, of course, because it doesn't respect me as a person. It's personal always. Movement plugin. It's probably... Oh, well, it'd help if it knew what that was. Maybe. I guess. You know, I mean, if it has to know, why can't it just trust everything that I'm doing? There we go. Okay. Now, as far as movement goes... Actually... Okay. We'll say the flock is if you query the global transform I have to query a few things, actually. Of anything which is a Boid. Yeah. Whoops. No, actually, this is not what we're going to be doing here. We're going to be updating the transform of, yeah, of all Boids. And you don't need those parentheses. Let's see. Separations. Let's see. Behaviors. Yeah. This one, though, we're going to add everything in there. So. Why is it not? Weird. And no. Let's see. That cohesion. And we're going to get time from the global time resource. So Boyd, I was realizing, I was like, I don't need to pass in delta time. And the reason is that, that's going to be calculated whenever we update the movement. And I don't want to add it twice. This one is reset. It's still not registering. Well, that's okay. All right. Yeah, so this one will just take the transform of everything and rotate it. In fact, for flockmate and flock, mute. No, not flockmate. For mutable transform, and to do that, we need to make sure that flock has mute, but also we're adding that within our value, our type definition. Interview. Okay, so all the transforms, we're going to go through them all. Here we go. We'll do that too. So we'll go through all their transforms, but also we're going to make sure we have the right entity. And then if let, we'll say if okay. If okay, separation and alignment and cohesion. And it's the behaviors query. And we're going to get mutable, get single mute actually. Because we only want one. Wait a minute. Is that how that one works? Get mute? Okay, yeah, never mind. And we're passing in that entity. Okay. So if we find an entity, which is what this is like, hey, if you actually get something out of this, this is, you'll see it returns like a result. So it's either an error or it's okay. We're just doing okay for now. So if we find something, then we're going to take the transform and we're going to equals time. I wonder if I need to calculate it once or every time. I don't know. Tame. All right. It's doing it each time. And that makes me feel like, yeah, we shouldn't calculate it and then share that value. Let's see. Rotate around our y-axis. A collection of angles. It will be the separation. I feel like it doesn't. Yes, if only this came from somewhere. Do I need to... Hold on a minute. Well... So, I'm so upset. Public mod. Boyd. Just have it here. And use it here. There. Alright, cool. Whoa. You. And you. Oh, and you. Cool. Alright. Great. You're very upset. Is it... Oh, is it let? Is it if let? If let okay? You're okay with this. As mutable. You're right, it's not. Because we don't need to mutate these. We just need to get them. Okay, so separation delta angle, alignment delta angle. It's not like an array or something. Cohesion delta angle. Do I have to... oh, time, and it's delta sex. Sex. Okay, whoops. All right. Didn't like that. So it should take all three angles, combine them, and then multiply by delta time and rotate our transform for each one. And that's the simpler part of it. I hope. Because I feel like the next part's going to be far more painful. So, I could make a bunch of meshes. I feel like it would be easier to make like a PNG of just the simplest little thing you could. So, let's open up our grid settings here. This is a sprite. I recommend it if you're doing anything pixel related. There's a lot of great tools out there, honestly, but I like this one. There are many just like it. Maybe we make it look a little different, just a bit. Let's see here. Yeah. And then we'll make one to here. Like this and like that. And then we will copy this. We will paste it. We will shift it over and we will... Oops, wrong one. We have to do all that again. Copy, paste, horizontal. My bad. Cool. I feel like kind of yellow. Oh, you know what we should do? We should use the channel colors. The heck are those anyway? Interrogation. I'm making a detective game. Interrogation. Oh. Let's see here. Hold on, I don't want to show all my stuff. Don't look at that. I love how I say that, and it's like, what am I really showing? I have a local disk, and the disk drive is the C drive. Are you surprised? Who even cares? I'm a little paranoid about some of this stuff, but I don't think it really matters to show it. I just don't like delving in all of my documents, you know. This? Yeah. Yeah. Okay, found it. I found... Yeah, all right. So, here we go. This is the animation that I use. You will be this color. Was that the same one? It is. Maybe it was preset to that. That's probably why it is. I was like, that's a real freaky coincidence if it is. Either that or I just zero creativity in picking a color. All right, well, let's see here. No. Yeah. Eh. Okay. I can just mimic this. I don't want to. That's too much. That's too much effort. Because again, we could just copy, paste it, and horizontally flip it. And there we go. In fact, that's a nice little board. Whoa. Whoa. Stop. Stop. Okay. Again, I will hide my files. I'll keep my secrets. There we go. Boids. You know what? Nah, I already have like a folder. I call it templates. Just save a lot of stuff that I've worked on in the past. Cool. I called it the triangle ship. Get it? All right. There we go. And we're not done yet because I got to export that file I just made. So back into our mini files. Copy. Bevy Boids. And we need assets, an assets folder. Any Bevy project is going to have an assets folder where you store your assets. But it's there so you don't have to like manually call on it every time. Speaking of which, though, I need to look through and remember, like, how do I what? Yeah, I'd prefer to open this file in Visual Studio Code. Okay, so yeah, the asset server. I always kind of forget this. So we'll click that, and we'll just copy a few things. There we go. Oh, there you go. So we need commands to spawn something. Commands spawn. It'll be a bundle. And what are we spawning? A sprite 2D. I can't remember anything anytime I ever do anything. Like I always have to look up past projects. Here. All right. Yeah, I'm like, this is great. Just grab that whole thing. And flock size will be a U size. 100 might be a good start. Okay, so we're going to spawn. There we go. Yeah. We don't need you. 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 We'll call you. Flock mate? No. Bird. We'll call it a traveler. And we don't want the player transform. And I could just do this. Let's see. Texture is texture dot clone. And this is very mad at me. Mismatch delimiters. I wonder where to put this. I don't know. I don't have. Let's see. For I in 0 dot dot flock size. And we're just gonna spawn one randomly. I need random in Bevy. Doesn't Bevy come with Bevy? Let's see. Rand. Bevy Rand. Yeah, but isn't this just Rust? This is provided by it. That's a crate. Uh-huh. Probably a bad idea. But they say this anyway. Yeah. Let's go ahead and add that to our crate. Cool. Okay. Um, there we go. And for X, Y, and Z, we're just going to say, oh, right, it has to update everything. Oh, here's some examples. I think we could trust this. It's been downloaded a few times. Yeah, that's an example. That's a nice, bright screen. Okay. Oh, what do we do? Thread RNG. What? What? Rand. Huh. What is this? Stop. Go to the. That's 0.09. Is that what we have? Yeah, 0.09. 0.9. 0.09. Going way far back. Oh, okay. That is probably deprecated. Jen. It's not happy about this. All right, let's open up the type here. Oh, next. Okay. Can I get next? Like F64? Right. But maybe I don't. Hmm. Hmm. Range. Yeah, that seems fine. Oh, there we go. Um. How about 400? So for each of these, we're going to say go from the start radius negative to positive. And let's do that for X, Y, and Z here. Now, how do we... I just realized I just want Bevy to be 2D. Yeah. That's good. Yeah. We're going to put that here because I don't know. I just don't see a point to having our own camera thing. Ooh. Set up camera. We don't need this marker. Why is it? Why is it so weirdly off? No. Can we just center it? All right, we should be looking top down, I think. I don't know. I just know we need to technically provide X, Y, and Z, except Z will always be 0. And this is gonna be this is so mad about everything. All right. You're mad. You feel like you're matched with you. Hold on a minute. All right, you're matched with you. And you should probably be here in scope. And you. Whoa. Oh, okay. All right. Use Sprite instead. Yeah, sure. Oh, by the way. These are all... Oh, okay, image. My bad. I'm not complaining. Yeah, I probably have to give it a different transform. All right, that's fine. What? Random range. Oh. Oh. Right. I get it. Whoops. You mean like this? Yeah. Okay. That should at least get us flocks. Oh, yeah, and we need to, add crap to them. We need to put all this shit on the Boids. All right, here we go. Yeah, thanks, bud. Is our scan angle? In fact, I'm going to call it specifically scan angle. So now I know exactly. And scan distance. Maybe I should call this a scanner. I mean, it seems to be what it is. And if we're going to do that, though, we need to make sure we say anything with a scanner. You know what? Actually, we'll keep Boyd. But instead, we are literally just going to have a struct called Boyd, and it will have nothing in it. And it will be wonderful, and it'll work perfectly. That helps, especially if you just want to filter, because then you're not, trying to put more stuff into memory. Do you need to be mutable? Probably not. Our initial scan angle is just going to be... Oh, pi... times 5/6. In fact... Whoop. Let's see. Here we go. Pi 5 dot divided by 6 dot. Here we go. And anytime you have any values and you're not exactly certain what they are, where they should go, like magic numbers, even this is kind of like, but I'll let it slide. But yeah, scan angle and scan distance. It's like, you know what? Let's define that. Let's define that somewhere else. Oh, except you're not a Boyd. You're a scanner. Darkly. You will be, though. We'll attach you. And say this is a Boyd, and it's got a scanner, and it's got separation. It's got alignment from our own crate and not from somewhere else, and cohesion. There we go. And you all want values, probably. This should just be 0. All right, all these where they're defined. Actually, no, I don't need to set it to 0. Okay. Effectiveness. Start with 1. And we'll say this and use default. This should make the angle 0, which is what we want. I feel like I'm going to say angle 2. Yeah. Vector 2. And we're going to say it is the Boyd. So the average heading... No. It's the opposite. It's the Boyd's angle 2. Whatever these values are. Times some effectiveness value. Okay, this should actually make it relative to the Boyd and not and like global to do all that stuff. It always starts to get a little weird. Maybe I don't need this. I just, yeah. All right. Oh yeah. All the others. At systems update. Here we're gonna have these 3 functions. Update separation, update alignment, cohesion. In set, in game set, Update behaviors. Aha! It's like, that's funny. It doesn't know what function I'm talking about. Update alignment. Yeah, that one. I just talked about it. Cohesion. Okay. I adjust my glasses because I'm OCD. You can see me do it 1,000 times a day. And I wear chapped lips because I live in a desert. It is beautiful, though. It just snowed. It's very lovely outside. Although it was like an ice skating rink last night. I drove a little bit. It's always a little. I just feel very confident of yourself, and then you're like, oh, I have no control over this vehicle. Suddenly, I feel fear for the last time. Hopefully not. Okay, let's see here. We're updating each of these values. And, oh, just a minute. I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. I have a cat. I'm looking after my cat right now. I don't know why that was so difficult. I feel like I that made it extremely suspicious for me to behave like that. Okay. How are we doing this? We're gonna grab transforms of everything. So, say the whole flock. Flock's just everything, really. Yeah, whatever. Okay, so we're going to get everything. I'm gonna get the global transform, and then we're gonna check and see, does it have this particular attribute? I feel like there's a hotkey, like Shift Alt. There's something that makes it all uppercase. I want to look this up. No. VS Code. VS Code. Whoa. Uppercase. Control Shift. Wait, no. Huh. Okay. Let's do that. I'll save that in my user settings here. Yeah. Dracula solved. What? Uh Wait a minute. I read that too fast. Type open keyboard shortcuts. Oh, for heaven's sakes. We don't need this. We don't need any of this. Open keyboard shortcuts. JSON. Ah, look at that. Weird. All right. Yeah. Okay. I'm fine with that. I don't even actually need that. It's just the last one. Yeah, that was all a waste. That was all a complete waste. All right. Separation. It's probably just gonna get upset with me. It doesn't know what it is. But that's okay. So, the other thing I want is actually let's say flock mates and flock Boids. Query. We'll also get the global transform, but this time we're specifically looking for Boids, and we don't just want the transform. We want more money. No, we want scanners. Because what we're going to do with that is we're going to go through every single one with a scanner, and we're going to check all its neighbors. Oof. It's like a lot of checking. Something tells me doing some kind of like grid where You just see what grid it's in. Oh, I'm feeling very OCD today. This is just something I do all the time. It's hard to describe it. It's just like if it feels off. But it's a product of having anxiety. Actually, it actually does feel awful. It's not just repeated behavior. It's a combination of things, and then I'm like, is everything aligned? Oh, it doesn't feel aligned. I'm getting into my own head on this one, and it deeply, deeply bothers me. But anyway, okay. Okay. Yeah, all of these are going to be like very, very identical. So let's open them all up and let's see here. For Boyd, no. For say Boyd transform and scanner. I'm doing this wrong. I'm doing this very wrong. It's funny. I'm looking up scanner values, and they're all supposed to be the same. I think at some point I want them to change. But it is ironic that they all have the same value. We'll keep it as is for now. Scanner. Add a mutable reference to a specific behavior. Speaking of which, these need to swap places, actually. Here we go. Yeah, okay. Yeah, because we only want their neighbors' transforms. Their transforms. We need the scanner values, and we need the separate, well, the whatever we're going to have. So, separation. This one will have alignment. Alignment. This one's cohesion. Cool. In Boids dot get iter mute. And then let's see, flockmate in transform in flockmates dot get iter. This is basically what it's going to be. I should be able to do this because they're read-only values. And I feel like I should be able to do this because I'm only writing to separate values. This might give me this might throw an error at me and be like, hey, you're trying to access too much similar information basically at the same time. I think it'll be fine because it's read. But if you try to write to the same things at the same time, it's very upset. So oof. Okay. Let's see here. And for each one, we're going to do update angle. But first, we have to check. We have to check to see which of these fits. So, let mute. Neighbors. Neighbors. Oh. Neighbor. Neighbor. Yeah, okay, that's better. My cat's gonna come over here in a second, and he might step on the computer button. So if I suddenly disappear from stream, you'll know why. And this will be a vector of vec2. And we'll just say... that's fine, right? I think so. Okay, and for each one, we have to check within if it's within the scanner distance. Again, it feels like this is too much. I'm just gonna keep on for this one. All right, so let distance equal the Boid transform translation. Is it? Man, what? Unknown. Why? Oh. Sorry. Oh. Lol. Wow, wow, wow. Look who it is. Mr. Stinky. Hello. You say hello? This is my baby boy. Hello. Oh, yes, yes. You're a sweet boy. He's not very cuddly at times. Okay, but he does type a lot. Come on. No. He's going to come up here. He's going to sit, and he's going to start to own the environment. And then sit down right where my mouse goes usually. He knows what he's doing. Distance. There we go. To the neighbor. Okay. And we will say if the distance is less than scanner you know what I don't like? I don't like calling it scan anything. I kind of hate that. It seems weird and awful. No, you're the Boid. You're... yeah. No, that's... okay. All right. That's where the hotkeys change from like one program to the next. It's annoying. You know what would be great? Have like a file that's just universal hotkeys. And every program you go into, you just plug those settings in rather than having to manually set it up every time. I can hope, can I? Oh, here we go. There's one problem with this. Now there's different ways of doing this. You can use this function. You can also just subtract them and get the length, which should be the magnitude. But anyway, if the distance that we've scanned is less than the scan distance, then we're going to add it. No. We need one more thing. We need to check the angle as well. Okay. Angle 2. So Boyd transform. Angle, no. Translation? Angle between. Whatever. I just, I kind of hate this. Feels like, I feel like I want a way of implementing a trait with for global transform. This feels nasty. Feels stinky. And I feel like yes. All right. We're gonna change a lot of stuff right now. What? What does this thing want? Yep. Oh. Okay. I love how it's like, I'm fine. I'm not fine. What are you not fine with? Oh. This? What? Oh. What? If I was like, this is deprecated, I'm like, okay. Okay. I don't. What is even the issue with this thing? Movement is angry. It's not even angry. It has no problems. I got a problem with it because it says it has no problems. Scanner. Behavior. Yeah, okay. Scanner doesn't feel like it belongs. Some of you are going to hate me. I'm renaming it again.
I feel like it. I'm going to do it. I'm not going to bother touching anything else, though, because something tells me if I just don't touch it for like 5 minutes, it'll fix itself. I'm deeply hoping it will. All right. Public trait. Scannable? Hmm. Scanning? I'll say within range. And it's going to pass in the self, and it's going to pass in a neighbor. Transform. And it's going to return a bool. And that's it. So we're going to do that. And then this is really cool. This is a cool thing about Rust. So cool. Yes, we've changed it. All right, get over yourself. Use our mod scanner. We have to do that. We have to, I think, say it's publicly accessible. See, no problem. No actual problem. Within our scanner, though, we're going to say, can we? Whatever. Implement scanning for global transform. We have no control. Well, we could change global transform internally, but we don't have to because we can just say, do the finding. Sorry, that's not. I mean, that is what this function is doing. We are implementing a trait, and a trait has a function. So we're saying, I want global transform to be able to call this function, any global transform. So now what we're doing is we're saying, how do we do that? Okay. I'm going to say, all right, yeah. If our distance is within scanner distance and our angle is within scanner angle. Actually, we don't make this a function. We can literally just return this. Because if both of these are true, it'll return a bool. If both of them are false, it'll return false. This kind of notation is unique. Well, I don't know if it's unique to Rust, but it is something Rust does. You can say return like this. Has a lot of problems. Or you can say return like this. Both will be the same. Cannot find Boid transform. That's because you want self and you want translation because you are a global transform. Yeah. Okay. There's that. And instead of neighbor transform, it's just neighbor. And translation. Really? Oh. My bad. Within range is 3 parameters. Whoops. Expected 2. Ah, right. I forgot to add a few things. So one, I should change this to global, and I should change this scanner. Cool. Okay, so now instead of all this, we're just gonna say if the Boyd transform. Actually, well, if the Boyd transform is within range, it's the name. It's the name within range. I feel like has neighbor or has true neighbor. You know what? We don't have to go crazy on this one. Neighbor transform. If it's within range. So if all of this is true. What are we doing again? Oh yeah, we're adding it to flock mates. Push the transform, but specifically we want for separation, we want its global location. No, actually we want its relative location. Boyd behavior. I'll keep it as is for now. But I could change it. All right. Transform, translation. What X and Y. And let's see. It's the neighbor minus the self. Translation. X, Y. And that's the vector. It's like flock mates is not a great variable for that. So flock mate. I just thought of a great way to rename within range. Flockmate. Relative location. Anyway, within range, we're going to rename to has flockmate. I like that. I think it's better. Has flockmate. There we go. So we're storing those relative locations. Now, why is it? Is it upset about anything? No. We're going to push all that. So we're taking both the neighbor and the Boyd. I have a very clever idea. Okay. we're going to return an option. And we're going to say it should be a vector 2. And if it is these things, we are going to return okay. We're going to return this. Except it will be self translation. Why don't we just store these or keep accessing them like this? Probably store them. Because I keep calling on it so many dang times. Here, copy. Okay, whoops. We don't need all that, but we have that, and then we have neighbor translation. Translation. Yeah, you're going to call it 3 times. We might as well just stick it somewhere. So, whoa. There we go. Neighbor translation. Relation. There we go. X and Y, X and Y. We will return that. Else, an error, and the error will be should it be an error at all? I don't feel like we need to have an error. It's just can I do that? No. False? Have to specify. Oh, none and some. Okay. My bad. None. And this is some. Yes. Good. This is great. Whatever some is, it has to match the type, right? But the option just says, hey, so here's where it's really cool. We say if let some local no relative location equals Boid transform has flockmate. We plug in the same values, and let me think here. So this is the function, this is the bracket for it, and if we have it, then we're going to push that relative location. So this is kind of neat what we did. Instead of checking an if statement and recalculating it, what we did was we said, hey, look, you're already scanning to see if it has a flockmate, and we are going to return this won't work. It could work. Because the alignment wants heading. Well, it was kind of neato. I mean, that's how you do that, and I feel confident that I know how to do that. So, frankly, it's okay if we don't actually do that. Like, here we go. We're back here. Back at a doo-dah. Here you go. be fine. Okay. Yeah, the only reason I did that is because here in alignment we're gonna have to store different things. So, but the good news is we can pass in the same stuff. And here, instead of flock mates, again, we're gonna call it relative heading. Flock mate relative heading. And we're not doing this. Should just be flock mate global heading. It'll be global, yeah, because okay. Oh. What? Anyway, you remember when I said Boyd was just not gonna have values? I wasn't lying, because I. Oh yeah. Once we're done with that, we're gonna say separation update angle and so it's relative location. Boyd transform translation. XY and flock mates. Yeah, you're mad. I can't find that value within that scope because it's not there. But this one is, and you're still upset probably because, yeah, consider borrowing here. All right. I'm still rough on syntaxing. But okay, so now we're borrowing this value and it should return to us. It's being borrowed, isn't it? Yeah. All right, so there we go. For alignment, now, actually, cohesion again. This is like the same thing. So we'll do that. It's not flock mates, it's flock mate relative locations. You know, flock mate relative locations or flock mates relative location. Whatever. I don't have time for this. Boyd transform has flockmate, so we'll do that again right here. Here we are. Except for instead of separation, it'll be cohesion. Updating the angle. There we go. And for alignment. So once we check the flockmate, we're going to get the relative heading. And what is that? It has nothing to do with what we are. Forward on the translation? No. Transform forward. It should be local forward. Yeah. I mean, okay. And in 2, because we want it to be a vector 2. XY? As a VAC 3 swizzle. Something tells me I'm gonna need that. No. Oh. And after we're done with all that, alignment, update, angle of the Boyd transform, translation, XY. And for flockmates, it's relative heading. And it's borrowed. Whoa, that's okay. Okay. This is a lot. We've written a lot of code, and we have not done a single test. Whoops. There's only one more thing we need to do. And let's give it a speed. So we'll just set a value. Speed is 10. And after we rotate, say transform translation, Z. No. Pickled Pokute. Wow, you have a lot of stuff in your game dev GitHub. Anyone you would pick out as a highlight? That's a good question. No, that's all right, that's my professional one. I don't know. A lot of this stuff is learning. I think break glass for Godot. Well, actually, that's this one. This one's Bevy. Don't. That's that doesn't even work. Make Words was a game that's just literally putting words together on itch. I'm sorry. It's the game is hosted on itch.io through the web. And you literally just take pieces and snap them together, and it'll spell out a word. There's no real goal in it. It was just more like messing around with mechanics and stuff. A lot of these are like unfinished. Many of these are unfinished. This one, of course, is like some of these are forked. This was supposed to be for this. This I've changed and I call it something else now. It's going further back, and I'm like, all these things. I mean, I don't really blame myself entirely because, oh, look. You have a link to that break glass game? Yeah, I do, actually. I should be able to. How do you itch.io stuff? Let me think here. Let's go to this. Yeah. Something.itch.io. All right. Let's see. Wait first. Itch.io. Cool. Here it is. As a friendly reminder, don't ever click links you see in Discord. But anyway, there's that. I did it for the Pirate Game Jam. And you should be able to find everything else through there. But, I'd say, there's a lot of these that are like, they're older. They're completely incomplete. Some of them barely started. But also, it's like you're like, I have an idea for a game. And so you start to work on it. But, like, the scope of it is, like, bigger than what you thought. And it's like, oh, how do I even architect this? So that's why part of me is like, I'd recommend doing game jams and really make something small and straightforward. Like very simple. Something that, like, frankly, you feel like anybody else could make. Because when you're first learning, you're trying to figure out how to connect everything. And it's sort of like, if you're going to learn how to make a pizza, don't go for anything crazy. Just learn how to make a normal cheese pizza. And if you can do that well enough, then it's like, okay, you can experiment, right? In the same way that, like, artists, a lot of artists, no matter, like, even if they are very, expressionist or very abstract kind of works, it's like, you look at Picasso, and I think a lot of people are like, oh, it couldn't draw correctly. Like, no, like, went to school. I'm pretty sure went to school, but, like, there's like all kinds of Picasso work of, like, very realistic looking drawings and paintings. But as a form of expression, Picasso began to develop, like, the more, I forget the terms, like abstract or cubism or something, but, like, before all that, Picasso learned how to actually draw the human body correctly. And in the same way, I think when you're learning anything new, you need to learn how to do, like, the basic shit correctly. Don't try to make a giant RPG. Don't try to make a game with, like, crazy mechanics. Make a Mario imitation. Because you need to learn just how all this stuff connects. Because once you get a good feeling for, like, architecture and organization and how all these little systems interact with each other, then you can be like, okay, now if I think of a mechanic, I have a better understanding as to, like, how that mechanic might actually be built, as opposed to, like, what you might hope for in terms of gameplay. Like, that's good. But if you're doing the building, then, like, yeah, you should be able to, you're going to have to figure out how to connect everything. Your Git repos don't seem to have links to the published game. Oh. I'll work on it. I'll update that later, but thanks for that. Where was I? Movement. Mm. I feel messed up in my head. Translation. It's funny, I have all these angles and I'm saying rotate. I guess I just move in a direction. Like X. And if we're rotating around Y, shouldn't it be around Z? Ugh. My head's messed up because I go from like 3D to 2D and I'm like, this is bound to be all kinds of weirdness. Whatever. Speed. Oh, times time delta sex. Sex. Okay. I should look up a little example. Bevy. Because I can never remember games. Yeah. Cool. Oh wow. Is this people who've committed? It's just Carter Anderson and many more. Maybe we should contribute to this so we can have our name there. All right, let's see here. This is selector, no, select, gravity, collisions, movement. I was doing rotate Z. Yeah, okay. I thought so. Oh, local. Rotate local Z. And yeah, I don't know, moving in X direction. Any a direction. Should be local. Is there like a transform local? No. It's just X. All right. I mean, this might be really messy and not great. Huh. Where's the camera setup? Do we need a camera setup? I don't think so. I guess not. Oh, look, they multiply delta there. All right. I do rotation afterwards. Yeah, this is kind of weird. But let's break. Shh. Shh. Quiet. Quiet. Shush. Shush. Oh my gosh. That's a little too loud for my taste. It's like bothering me. This noise is bothering me right now. Because I don't want to hear it. Walls, bricks. No, I guess you don't need a camera for 2D. All right, shush. That was too annoying. Yeah, all right, forget it. No camera. There we are. Okay.
I think a lot of things are about to break.
It just feels very. It's too much going on. Too much building. It ran. Let's see. Vector given dir 3 new unchecked is not normalized. Length is. Oh. Wait a minute. Whoa. I made a fatal error. Yeah, bubble spawner. What do we call our little ship? The triangle ship. Okay. There's that. And update alignment. Okay. Let's see. Forward. Huh. Implement local access. Here we go. Here's our problem. Technically, it says it's here. Yeah. New unchecked is not normalized. Length is none. Really? Oh. Should be local forward. I wonder, shouldn't this be global, actually? Yeah, I don't know if this is a good idea. Huh. Macro rules. Yeah, I don't like that. Huh. Huh. Yeah, this is nuts. I'll just look it up. I mean, I feel like I'm just going to be told the same thing. Um. Hmm. Huh. Ah, local X or local Y? Good question. Oh, right. Um, I don't know. Let's to the right. Take it back now, y'all. Direction 3. Yeah, but I just want XY. Seems to accept it. Let's yeah, I was trying to get the X or the Z axis, but I'm like, yeah, they don't have any. Really again? Okay. Uh, local X. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Let's transform. I don't know the right then. No, I already did that. Actually, it won't. Hmm. Endure fee from the is already normalized. Oh. Um. Normalize. Man, what? Hmm. Get 2D forward back vector. This is Godot. I said Rotation in 2D is fine. But, look at this. They follow me, don't they? Okay, how does this one work? Alright, blah blah, spawning. Update the ship. Oh. Back 3Y. Oh. Let's see here. This direction should be probably a vector 3. Or probably is. Oh my gosh, this song that's playing right now has like... Sorry, it's playing the exact same note for like 5 minutes. It felt like a hearing aid test. I'm like, can you play, I don't know, just not that note ever again, please? All right, what is this going to come out to? I just feel like I have no idea what I'm doing, actually. Eh. I should have done some of this stuff earlier. Oh, goody, it does nothing. Oh. Insane. Loader message. GPU Vulkan. All right. You know what? I guess we do need a camera. Hey, it's like dark in here, isn't it? Spooky. My chair has too many handles. Hey, look at that. They're they're kissing. And they're all kind of drifting in the X direction. Oh. How terrible. Let's run that again. Let's just see where they go. Yeah, they're clearly affected by one another. But they're not moving. It's kind of square dancing slowly into oblivion. All right. Well, no. Yeah, it's like, what are you doing, man? I don't know. Why? Hmm. Oh. Example had a lot of stuff in it. Okay. Ugh. Direction and distance. All right, well, here, we'll get direction. Which is these two. I think. I feel like I need to turn down the cohesion. Effectiveness. I mean, I don't know if all of these need to be turned down, frankly. A separation, cohesion, alignment. All right. All right, so there's... Oh. They're dying. What the hell happens? What? Where are they going? I'm just going to turn everything down. I don't know why they're disappearing. Genuinely no idea why. It's spooky. If the speed was higher. Heck, I don't even know if I built this correctly. What I might do is watch the coding train. Yeah, okay, they just disappear. I mean, it's kind of working, yeah? Also, aren't I spawning 100 of these? Let's narrow that radius down. They should be remaining on the same plane. It's just disappearing. I mean, they're kind of working, you know. I feel like separation should be cranked up a bit, though. A lot. Let's spread them out. Okay. We'll crank that back down. Huh. X, Y, X, Y, X, Y, X, Y, X, Y. X, Y, X, Y, X, Y, X, Y. Well, we did build everything out. I mean, really, we've gotten something that's functional to a degree. What? I think this thing has been playing the same song for like the last 4 hours. Okay, that's way better. Some of these jungle D&B videos are like 5 hours of the exact same song. And I can't even remember. I don't realize I didn't notice that. I am frustrated now realizing it. Issues. They keep disappearing. I don't know. I feel like I feel like the cameras I know the camera's orthographic. I feel like what's happening is that they're on like the XY plane and then they just disappear. I don't think they're really gone. I think it's just they've shifted. Maybe if I make a 3D camera, we won't have this issue. But it's so frustrating that it's like happening. It should not be happening. They should not be moving on the Z-axis whatsoever. But they are. So. Let's think here. Huh. Oh. Needs adjusting. And do another reference. So there's a video by the train. Hold on a minute. I gotta the coding train. Hold on a minute. It's the coding train, and it's they did a Boids video. Yeah. Okay, so there's coding. This one, the coding train, like me, they like to suffer live in real time. But you can see everything they do. So what I'm gonna do, this is 8 chapters. Oh, whoa, wow! I can go to okay. All right, let's not stream the whole thing, but So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a little research. I'm not gonna watch the whole thing on stream because I don't know. I think that's I could. Oh, cool. Oh, this is the original one from 19. Is this their code?
Coding challenge is complete. It is done. I will be uploading the code. You will, if you want, you can look in the video description to find the code as a snapshot. That's exactly what it is.
Where is it?
Let's make a list. Of things you.
Okay. Oh. You hear that static? Static is rough, but that's really cool though. That like you know, here's an example of it really working. I like it in 3D. It's cool. We should probably make it in 3D. That would be neato, and that wouldn't be that hard because we just have to adjust all our vector 2s to vector 3. But like, you know, I think like the same principles would still apply. Hopefully, I don't know. I mean, I'm just like spitballing without any real research. And it's like, you know, it kind of got something going. But it's clear to me that it's going to take a little more effort. Why is it always does. I love how I just write reference. Here's an idea. There we go. Let's see. This is the coding train. I would recommend watching their videos. I really think I don't know what their name is. Does it say on their website? All aboard. Oh, Daniel Schiffman. You know, I've watched Daniel's videos for years here and there, and I think you should definitely give it a go if you want to try stuff. I mean, they do all kinds of stuff, and the cool thing is, like they really, I hate these ads. They really, you know, they take the time to like, I don't know, make it work, make it look realistic. Like, look at that. That looks really cool. So I'm confident that we can get this working. And, you know, given that that's like a 40-minute video, I'm like, okay, 40 minutes? Probably should have looked it up beforehand. Let's just say values need tweaking. I don't know what else to put. Yeah. Okay. Let's initialize this whole thing. Do I have anything in this settings? No. There are no workplace settings. So, frankly, if I don't need it, I'm going to remove it. It's deleted forever. That's fine. I don't care. I don't care. Goodbye. Yeah. And that's not really the point of what we need anyway. So let's say init and barely functional. It works. It's just not great. So there's that. And I'm going to have to do some other things to bring it up. But I'm going to call it. That's, you know, about 4 hours. I feel like that's a pretty good stream. So, thanks. Again, Nisiur. Nisiur. I'm not certain how that is pronounced, but I believe Nasir, maybe I'm going to guess. And thanks, Pickled Pokute or Pokuti. But anyway, and anybody else who might have stopped by. So thanks for stopping by. I hope it was fun or at least entertaining. And yeah, I'll leave you with this. I'm watching a TV show recently called Flatland, and it's really amazing. It's like the early 2000s, and it has the vibe of like everything is cool, nothing can be uncool, and boy, it's just amazing. It's an experience. I recommend it. Other than that, though, I'm the Triangle, and I'm not the Triangle. I'm Joel, but this is the Triangle, and don't forget to try something new.